So one of the questions that has come up, because you said that you're going to continue to go ahead with that debate date anyway, even though NBC is not going to be a part of it. And I know that the brass here, my boss at TheBlaze, has written you all a letter saying, well, TheBlaze would love to host it. We would work in partnership with National Review. We're really good friends. In fact, I just had the entire staff, look at this timing. I had the entire staff, Sean, here on my show just last week, and they were all in Texas for a fancy event. But said that we would host it, keep it in Houston, same venue, etc. How has that been? And I realize it's still probably early, but how has that been, received over there at the RNC?
Well, obviously, we have a lot of respect for you and Glenn and the team at TheBlaze. You do an excellent job. There's some top-notch journalists there throughout the different platforms that TheBlaze has. So it would definitely be one of the top considerations. There's going to be, look, I think right now the goal is to sit down with these candidates and say, look, what problems do you have? What assurances do you need before we move forward? And if those aren't met, then I think we have an obligation to sit down with all of these folks, TheBlaze and others, and say, hey, what debate would you put on? And take those same questions to our candidates and say, what do you want? This is really always should be and will be about what's in the candidate's best interest.
Right, absolutely. Well, we would definitely love to do it. And I know that there are, I think at least almost every single candidate so far has visited the headquarters here in Dallas. I think I've spoken to all of them except perhaps maybe for Marco Rubio. I think he may be the only person that I haven't interviewed yet at this point. But I think it would be a great partnership. It'd be a lot of fun to do it. And it would be, new media era. I think it would be unlike any other debate that we've seen thus far from the RNC.
That's right. And I would say, look, one thing that's important, especially for your audience there at TheBlaze, is in the past, prior to this year, conservative media has been completely shut out of the process. And this year we took a huge step forward and said that every debate had to have a conservative element. And I don't think that's perfect. I don't think it's great, but it's a huge step in the right direction. Right. The reason the conservative media is at the table in each of these debates is because of the RNC. And I think what it's shown is you see these individuals who ask tough, insightful questions, that people learn more about the candidates and issues when they ask them. I think we need to highlight the intelligence of conservative media over the silliness of mainstream media. And the more that we can do that, the better for our party and the better, frankly, for our country.
Right. I completely agree with you on that. I hope that we hear back from you all soon. I hope it's an answer in the affirmative, because these weeks go by quickly and we're going to be in February before we know it. Sean Spicer, Chief Strategist, Communications Director. Really quick, Sean, before we go, what is the best way that our viewers, our listeners can let the RNC know that they'd like to see that fair debate hosted by TheBlaze?
I think you can go to GOP.com. There's a contact piece there, and share that. Share. There's a button that says contact us, and let us know what your thoughts are. That would be great.
Absolutely, Sean Spicer. Always good to talk.
I do know that the chairman's already been in contact with Glenn, and they'll continue to have a conversation.